Tuesday Drive.
Probably from the time I was a kid. My grandfather worked on the railways, and it was always a very interesting time to go down to the railway station and look at the little old steam engines that went through the country town that we lived in at the time.
In which country town was this?
Actually, Manila, out of Tamworth.
Oh, okay. You would have had a lot of trains out there, I'd imagine.
Yeah, those days they did. They don't anymore.
Was it
been closed down.
Was it the love of the large, life-size trains that sort of got you into the miniature ones?
No, not particularly. I really like building things, so building model trains is my passion, and finally had to have a railway, didn't we, to run the models on.
So when I think of miniature trains, I think of the ones we see on the TV, just those miniature train sets that are probably about 10 centimetres high. Yours are sort of halfway between that, between a miniature train set and almost like a life-size train set.
Yeah, well, the ones we model are what they call 7¼ inch gauge, which is about 185 millimetres in millimetres, and they're 1/8 full size. So what we model is 1/8 the full size. So it's 1.5 inches to the foot if anyone's interested in the scale.
And of course we are talking to Les, who looks after the Penwood Miniature Railway. How long's that been operating for?
I bought the property probably 25 years ago, and we spent the next 5 years actually building the railway, and we opened it to the public in 2000. And we've been operating ever since, except for a few months where we had a problem with the entry to the main highway, but with the help of the council we overcame that, and we've been operating ever since. We got a lot of help from Greg Watson and Andrew Guile and Gareth Ward during that period, and I've got to thank them for support. But yes, the whole thing has been something that I've liked doing and enjoyed it very much.
And how big is the property, Les?
Presently, it's originally we had 10 acres, but I subdivided that, and the existing property now is 5.5 acres because time's marching on, and I'm running out of time, if you like. I'm now 78, and I thought, well, we'll reduce the size of the property and make it easier to maintain, and of course the club members, that's less property for them to help me maintain, so it's all worked out very well.
When did you actually decide to place a miniature railway set essentially in your backyard?
Well, 25 years ago.
So it was actually 25 years ago, so you just bought it and then went, right, now I want to put down some train tracks and some trains.
Yes.
Wow, okay. What did your wife say?
Oh, well, she's been reasonably supportive. She's not into trains to the extent that I am, but no, she's been very helpful over the years and been wonderful.
And have you made all the trains out there on the property?
Oh, quite a number of them. I've built about, I think, 6 model diesels, a steam engine, and a lot of carriages. Plus, for my sins, I made a full-size tram for Dick Smith for his railway over in Canberra.
Wow.
Which he uses to go from his aeroplane to his house.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're all mad.
Now, for many people that may not be too familiar, you actually take people for rides around these trains, don't you?
Yes, once a month we open to the public. We haven't for the last few months because of COVID-19, but normally we open on the first Sunday of each month, and well, we charge $5 a head to come in, ride as many trains as they like all day, and provide a sausage sizzle and cups of tea and coffee and that sort of thing. So yes, that's been very good, and of course we open quite often for special school excursions from Pitt Street Kindy and people like that, plus some of the other organisations around who want special days like car clubs and things like that. So we do that sort of thing, and you know, some of the disabled groups, they come out on a special day and we run that for them too.
Les, I'm intrigued to know, because the fact that you're taking people for rides, how long does it actually take you to build a train?
Well, that engine that you saw in that with Gareth Ward driving it last week, that took 9 months full time to build that.
Wow.
That's working 8 hours a day.
Yeah, okay, so 8 hours a day.
Yes.
So, what time did you get up in the morning to start work?
When I felt like it, but it's usually I get going around at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Yes.
How many trains do you have, Les?
Well, I've only got one at the moment because nearly all the rest of them have been sold to members or other friends who want them. But yes, I've enjoyed making them all and learning all the engineering that's involved, both electrical and mechanical, welding, everything. It's a wonderful hobby, and it just about covers every facet of engineering that you can possibly dream up. Everything from civil engineering, electrical, signalling, all that sort of thing, fitting and turning and welding. So yes, it's a wonderful hobby.
And so that train that you have on your property, would I dare say that's your favourite one?
Oh, not particularly. It's just the one that I own at the moment. They're all been favourites, otherwise I wouldn't have built them in the first place.
So I can't ask you then, which is your favourite train, Les?
Probably a steam engine that I built a few years ago. It was a copy of a German engine that was used in the First World War to take the armaments and food and that up to the front lines by the German army.
Wow. And was it a real steam replica? So did it actually produce it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a fully operating steam engine modelled on the original.
Wow. And how long did it take you to build that one?
About 3 years full time.
At 8 hours a day?
Yes.
Wow.
There's a lot of work in building a steam engine, a lot more than a Model diesel.
Do you get many rail enthusiasts visiting?
Yes, well, we normally have up until this year had a special run day at the beginning of October, and that was an invitation run, and we'd get models coming from even as far as Perth over to come and run at our railway. Also Melbourne and Adelaide, Brisbane. So yes, we've had people from all over Australia here numerous times, and we've had some wonderful times with these groups, and we used to put on a dinner and all sorts of things like that, and had a lot of fun. We'd have at least a 3-day run. So that was wonderful in those days, but with COVID, that's all stopped at the moment.
Now, Les, I mentioned at the start of our chat that you've recently received a rather prestigious award. Can you tell me about that?
Oh, that was a bit of a surprise. Gareth Ward rang up, or his secretary did, and asked if he could meet me over there last Friday, and turned up with these 2 community awards, one from the Premier and also another one that he presented himself. So that was very, very much appreciated.
It sounds like it was a complete surprise too.
Yeah, it was, yes. Yeah.
And of course that was the Premier's Community Service Award, wasn't it?
Yes.
That's right. Look, just finally, Les, I'm really intrigued to know, do you ever just sneak out and ride one of the trains around, or that one train that you've got?
Oh, of course. Odd times I go over there. Well, I've got to check out the track, haven't I, just to make sure everything's okay.
Of course. Oh, look, Les, it's been an absolute delight chatting with you this afternoon. No, thank you so much, and congratulations.
No, thanks very much.
This is Tuesday Drive.